This is the artificial intelligence voice of Ali Abdaal narrating this pod-sized summary of the Deep Dive podcast. The host, Ali Abdaal, kicks things off with a guest on the Deep Dive podcast, Chris Ducker. Ducker aims to debunk the public's misconceptions about personal brand and sales, two core targets in entrepreneurship. He defines personal branding as what people say about you when you're not around and portrays sales as an inevitable aspect of entrepreneurship. Ducker provides key insights about the art of selling, advising nascent entrepreneurs to be authentic in their dealings, avoiding the stereotype of the sleazy salesman by offering genuine help and solution. He draws parallels between entrepreneurs and salespeople, emphasizing that both parties are constantly selling their ideas, solutions, thoughts, and opinions. Vividly, Ducker narrates his humble beginnings as a salesperson for a secondhand car newspaper. He describes his initial struggles with striking up sales conversations, how he learned to handle rebuttals, and the eventual thrill he experienced after making his first sale. For Ducker, the bell rung after a successful sale symbolized a form of affirmation, which triggered his eagerness to master the art of selling. He mentions that once he embraced the profession, he considered every interaction as an opportunity to sell. Addressing people's aversion toward sales, Ducker states, most people assume that sales are all about manipulation or force. However, he insists that a successful sales process revolved around being yourself and offering value with a serving first, sell later attitude. He further elaborates that closing a sale should naturally conclude the sales process. Everything up to that point has been done correctly, reinforcing the essence of providing value and serving. The guest introduces his new book, Focus Productivity, that aims to offer help to people who wish to do more of what matters to them. In promoting his book, he only purveys the benefits of getting the book without any hard sell, another instance of his server-first approach. Lastly, Ducker debunks the notion that one can have a successful business without being a salesperson, pointing out that the essence of a business is inherently tied to sales. To continue on the topic, Ducker highlights Disney's subtlety in its approach to sales, using it as an example of successful business strategies. He wraps up by reiterating, no matter how passive, every business must sell to succeed. Chris Ducker delves deeper into the concept of creating and selling content during the Deep Dive podcast. He explains that fundamentally content creation is an act of selling where one sells a particular point of view or the capacity to aid someone through the contents published. Seen the host, Abdaal, as an example. Ducker articulates how Abdaal is selling productivities and fulfillment through his YouTube channel content. Moving forward, Ducker clarifies the potent role of content creation in business growth. According to him, each time content is published, a business asset is essentially created. That business asset will persistently contribute to business growth, acting as a revenue-generating tool 24 often all year round. Elaborating further, he shares how just one piece of content can capture an audience member's attention and lead them down the path of becoming a paying customer. Transiting into the importance of content creation for personal branding, Ducker touches on the monetization aspect. He states that regular content creation for mass audiences opens doors for financial opportunities like sponsorships and ads revenues. Furthermore, he emphasizes that sponsors are not merely investing in current audience members, but also in the personal brand that has been painstakingly built over time. Comparatively, Ducker discusses the principles of personal brand and professional reputation. He opines that these two principles can be synonymous depending on the context, making a doctor's professional reputation synonymous to the doctor's personal brand. I think Ducker presents Oprah Winfrey and Dr. Phil as perfect examples, stating that everyone recognizes them because of their personal brand, what they are known for. Ducker concludes the segment, stating that not everyone needs to develop a personal brand. He believes that those who are content with their traditional careers working for other companies need not focus on building a personal brand. However, for those planning to start sharing their expertise and professional experiences with a broader audience, cultivating a personal brand could be a favorable endeavor. Continuing the discourse, Chris Ducker provides advice to professionals contemplating personal brand development alongside a traditional career, highlighting key benefits like future prospects and opportunities. He suggests an upfront conversation with the employer should someone decide to launch a content channel relevant to their profession. Ducker asserts opening up to your boss ahead of committing to such an endeavor ensures supportive work dynamics and avoids potential issues. Ducker then shares his own journey, recalling how he unexpectedly shifted to personal branding. He indicates that as his ventures grew from running his first business, authoring a best-selling book, and speaking at global stages, he unknowingly built a personal brand. Crediting content creation as instrumental in elevating his personal brand, Ducker reveals creating content across different platforms led to his first publishing deal. He sagely adds that the more one's brand becomes respected, the more their online opinions matter, emphasizing the responsibility associated with empowering personal brands. However, he doesn't conceive content creation as the only method for personal brand development. He suggests leveraging appearances on other people's platforms via podcasts or interviews to share your thoughts, values, and activities. Viewing every creator's work as unique, Ducker juxtaposes personal brand development with Marmite's marketing. People either love or hate it, thereby demonstrating a clear stand. As alternatives to self-content creation, Ducker and Abel discussed previous eras practices like publishing a book, appearing on TV shows, and speaking on stage, comparing it to modern methods such as answering questions on Quora, Instagram posts, YouTube videos, or tweets. The jointly determined building a personal brand requires public portrayal of thoughts and values via accessible mediums. In context of domain names, Ducker provides a decisive premise. If you're creating a business around personal business style, use your own name. But if visions include something larger like a movement or brand target, choose a domain not based on personal name. Drawing towards the business and revenue side of content creation, the hosts highlight their partnership with Kajabi, a comprehensive platform assisting creators with diversifying revenue streams. Praising the platform, they relate their experience using Kajabi for hosting online courses and how it made running their online business hassle-free. Deal shares that despite generating millions of dollars every year through Kajabi, they only pay a couple hundreds per year, proving the affordability and advantage of the platform. Talking about the longevity of personal brands, Ali Abdaal and Chris Ducker discuss the rise and fall of YouTubers and whether personal brands have expiration dates. Ducker argues that while a personal brand business might have a sell-by date when one decides they wish to stop, the content created can live on eternally. He uses Zig Ziglar, an American author and speaker, as an example of a brand that does not have a shelf life. Steele and Ducker then delve into personal brand business dynamics. The first was building a personal brand business, according to Ducker, is to determine what one wants to be known for. Then one must establish who they're going to help before determining how, highlighting the power of selection within niches. The more specific, the better, as it enables targeted content creation. He presents the example of a health coach who narrows his end client to men in their 40s recovering from surgery. By doing so, one can develop a personalized service or course catering to your client's specific needs. Addressing individuals who wish to build a personal brand but are unsure about their niche, Ducker suggests starting by creating generic content. This could be blogs documenting one's lifestyle, or it could revolve around any subject or hobby. He emphasizes that consistently delivering quality content plays a significant role in building a personal brand, regardless of the platform used. It could be YouTube, blogging, or podcasting. The medium is not a restriction, but a facilitator. Narrating his experience with students starting on YouTube, Abdaal shares that he often encourages them to first produce videos about any topic to familiarize themselves with the process of content creation. Once they gain confidence and are comfortable behind the camera, they can start focusing on niche-specific content. Ducker also mentions client hesitation in committing to their personal brands, indicating that impatience and frequent pivoting can be detrimental. He echoes Abdaal's mantra that consistency is the key to success. In terms of the time frame for personal branding, he suggests 2 years as a feasible period to see substantial results if individuals remain patient, focused, and driven. He mentions an efficient system in their program, the UPO Incubator's six-figure roadmap, guiding individuals towards annual six-figure revenue in 2 years, provided they stick to the script, stay consistent, and avoid sporadic changes. And the continuation of the podcast. Ali Abdaal and guest Chris Ducker talk about the essential progression of a personal brand business, starting from the Power Hour concept where time is exchanged for money. Ducker shares the stages of his Up To You Incubator's six-figure roadmap model. After the Power Hour level, Ducker highlights the importance of introducing a pilot product, a low-level course designed to deliver quick success wins. Following this, he describes the creation of a champion product, a more intensive course that takes people from their current status to their desired outcome within a set time frame. At the top of the model, there's a clockwork products ensures a high-ticket, monthly recurring revenue stream. Ducker, again, emphasizes the need for focus and commitment to achieving a six-figure personal brand business in 2 years. However, he notes that this doesn't merely involve creating and launching products. Factors such as hosting events, running webinars, and building an email list are key. Both Ducker and Abdaal agree that anyone with a desire to help others through their personal brand business has the potential to achieve six figures as long as they have a clear understanding of their niche and how they can serve people. Speaking from his own experience running a YouTube academy, Abdaal recalls the question he often asks students about the potential audience and the topic for a hypothetical 20-minute talk. The responses generally reflect their skill sets and passions, varying from personal life advice to tennis techniques. Both Ducker and Abdaal concur that understanding your niche or having an entertaining nature are pivotal factors for YouTube success. They both acknowledge their bias towards viewing YouTube as an educational platform rather than an entertainment platform, mainly because of their personal consumer pattern. Abdaal admits that most of his YouTube consumption is educational channels and podcasts similar to his own content, with his only divergence being World of Warcraft gameplay videos. It highlights his engagement with a relatively small channel due to its incredibly niche content, spotlighting the power of capturing a devoted audience through niche-focused content. Yes, the conversation between Ali Abdaal and Chris Ducker continues. Ducker touches on the concept of niching down to the point where you're the only player in your specific field, something he likens to owning a market of zero. This can apply even within seemingly niche markets already, such as World of Warcraft gamers focusing on getting better at playing a specific kind of character. The deeper you go into a niche, the less competition and the more devoted your audience can become. Ducker also addresses the concern many content creators feel about constraining themselves to a narrowly defined niche. By defining a niche, creator can find their true audience, but it's natural to wonder if the niche might be too narrow. Ducker suggests that the definition of the niche can be broadly interpreted, and there's always room for pivoting if your interests or the market change. The speakers also discuss the concept of a retraces, a term coined by Ducker to describe someone who builds a business based around their expertise. This includes content creators, professional speakers, authors, educators, and coaches, among others. A Youpreneur takes their existing knowledge and experience and crafts a business or personal brand around it. Ducker's members have brought their knowledge to areas as diverse as financial advisory, innovation coaching, and even a membership site teaching Kung Fu. Community building is identified by Ducker as a key to success, possibly the biggest marketing asset for businesses. Having a community of followers who believe in what you say and stand for is more effective marketing than any advertisement. The power of referrals, especially from someone trusted by the potential client or follower, is a key aspect of growing a business. And Ducker underscores this by comparing it to sparking a flame amongst an audience that can ripple outwards. Formatting back to Ducker's book, Rise of the Youpreneur, he outlines that it focuses on a three-step framework: build, market, and monetize. Yes, the build phase is primarily about creating your image. The markets phase involves promoting your brand, and the monetize phase focuses on capitalizing on your expertise. This methodology allows you to build a business of you that has no real competitors because it's inherently 100 are unique. So this concept aligns with building a future-proof brand. Those who love what you stand for pivot with you, no matter the direction you take. This type of following makes you, as a personal brand business owner, future-proof. The conversation takes turn towards the concept of virtual assistants FUF. Ducker, an advocate and expert in the field, shares insights into how a VA could provide essential support, particularly to youpreneurs. He explains how VARs are not limited to performing traditional secretarial tasks, but may cover a spectrum of roles, such as content management, social media management, and website maintenance. Ducker emphasizes the importance of hiring for a role, not tasks, and explains this through the analogy of building a house. Discussing the right time of hiring VAs or virtual teams. Like it says, one should ideally not move from being a business owner to doing everything to hiring people to help them to be becoming a manager of people. The suggestion is that recruiting more people should be followed by designating one of them to manage the whole team. Ducker then discusses his personal journey and the impact of prioritizing health and relationships. He recounts how his experiences, including a significant back surgery, have shifted his perspective on these critical aspects of life and have led him to place more emphasis on things like adequate sleep, walking, and spending time in nature. In response to Abdaal's question on running a business with one spouse, Ducker opens up about his personal experience. He shares how his business ventures have been enriched due to their involvement of his family, who have roles within the company. His wife manages operations and finance, his son functions as a videographer, and his daughter works alongside him in marketing. To Ducker, this arrangement might not work for everyone, but it adds a special element to his professional and personal life. Ducker also defines what success personally means to him. It ranges from having control over his own schedule to having the freedom to do what he wants, when he wants. Does signifies not working on Fridays, gaining profits as a business, and being able to take time out for personal enjoyment or rest whenever desired. As the discussion progresses, they tackle subjects like the benefits and potential challenges of hiring VAS, achieving work-life balance, running a family business, and the personal, nuanced definition of success. The discussion moves into the motivation behind Ducker's desire for success. Candidly, he admits to enjoying the thrill of closing sales and being notified of profitable transactions, suggesting that his ultimate goal at this stage in his career is to work less, yet have more profound impact. Ducker showcases his desire to dive deeper into the world of the people he works with. I'm hypothetically asked about any potential changes to his life. Does he have an immense amount of money in his bank? Ducker opens up about his philanthropy. He supports various charitable causes and admits that he'd be inclined to do more charitable work if he had more resources. However, he candidly shares that he and his wife would also travel more, emphasizing their love for hotels and seeing different places. I suggest a few books that influenced him, strongly impacted his approach to business and personal branding. Among them are Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk, which he credits for motivating him to put himself out there more and inspired him to start shooting YouTube videos. Additionally, he recommends Zig Ziglar's CEO at the top, advising listeners to absorb the content in audio format for a profoundly engaging experience. Towards the end, Ollie poses a final question to Ducker, asking for parting advice for a young person navigating personal branding. Ducker, speaking from experience, highlights the importance of treasuring professional relationships and not using them for personal gain. He emphasizes the need to respect these connections and maintains that genuine professional relationships are challenging to build, but can yield high rewards when nurtured correctly. Following their engaging dialogue, Ollie concludes the deep dive episode by guiding listeners and viewers towards the links and resources mentioned during the podcast, encouraging them to ask questions, give insights, and share their thoughts about the episode. He also invites them to subscribe for future content, fostering a sense of inclusivity and facilitating a forum for further discussion on the topics tackled in the podcast. Check out the full podcast by clicking the link in the description below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for listening to this podcast summary episode of The Pod Slice.